What is going on, you guys, and welcome back into another video. My name is Brandon, and in this platform review, we are going to be taking a look at the platform EQ Bank. This is one that's been gaining a ton of popularity recently. It's actually my personal favorite high interest savings account option here in Canada at the moment. I'll go on to explain a little bit more about that later in the video, but I thought what we'd do for this video is simply go through a bit of an overview of the platform. I'll go over quickly the pros, the cons, and then what I'll actually do is I'll actually log in and show you guys what it looks like on the back end. I'll go ahead and make a transfer from my personal account into this high interest savings account, just to kind of give you guys a little feel of how it works. And if that's something that sounds interesting to you, definitely hit that subscribe button, because about a month from now, we'll be doing a follow-up video and just assessing how things are, giving a little update and seeing what it's like actually using the platform. Because if you've recently heard about EQ Bank, you've likely heard about their high everyday interest rate of a 2.30%, which when you look at the landscape out here in Canada, this is definitely up there. I wouldn't say that it's the absolute highest, but it is a very, very respectable interest rate to pull in for a high interest savings account. In fact, when you factor in all aspects such as fees, the user interface, the credibility, the interest rate, all of that combined, to me, there's no question that this is the best option for Canadians. I'll go on to explain why as we go through the video. But starting off here just with a little bit of an overview, this is just very simply eqbank.ca. Links will all be down in the description below if you'd like to follow along or take a look after this video. And if you're just hearing about EQ Bank, well, their parent company is Equitable Bank. So they've actually been around, it says here, for over 45 years. Taking a look at the assets, over $31 billion in assets, over 800 employees. Of course, these are all covered nowadays by the CDIC, which is basically the governing body here for if your money gets lost, you get coverage up to a certain amount. I believe it's $100,000. Point being here is that credibility-wise, your money is going to be safe here. But in terms of the actual features that this high interest savings account offers, they do cap out at a $200,000 maximum. So that is the account size that you can go in. You can fund your account up to a maximum of $200,000. You see that maximum balance per customer. They say here high everyday interest rates. These are actually paid out on a monthly basis, as we'll take a look at just in a second. Zero minimum balance, which is just awesome when you're starting out, especially if you have smaller amounts of money that you want to pop into your account. Zero monthly fees, unlimited Interact e-transfers. You can make bill payments. They have free EFTs, so electronic fund transfers, unlimited EQ to EQ transfers, and free day-to-day transactions. So basically what this, when you compile here all the fees, we can actually take out, I believe we click here, find out more, it kind of compiles it for us. You can see here, they are really taking the approach of being beginner friendly. You don't need a bunch of money to avoid fees. You can come on this platform, have your investments grow. You can take advantage of that 2.3% high interest rate, and all of this is free. And this becomes very important as you're sending money back and forth between your bank account and then into your EQ high interest savings account. You definitely don't want to be getting tagged with fees when that's happening. And again, I'm going to log into my account here in just a second, so that we can go ahead and see that exactly happen. But again, all of this will be available. You can feel free to go read through this on your own time. There'll be a link down in the description below. But let's just jump right ahead in. I mean, that'll probably be the best way to explain things, by just going in and signing into my account. Just FYI, signing up takes very, very short amount of time. It was awesome to sign up. I'll actually just show you here. They require 3 things in order to register with this account. You must be a Canadian resident. You must meet your province's age of majority. Here in BC, that's 19. In everywhere else in BC, I believe it's 18. And you need to have your social insurance number handy. But let's just go ahead to my account here. Sorry, I'm going to exit out here, and let's just go ahead and sign in and show you the back end. And what I've already done is I've linked my TD account to my EQ bank account. And that's really one of the things that they try to strive here for, is just simplicity. The simplicity of sending money back and forth. As we can see, this is the student, or not the student dashboard, but this is the EQ bank dashboard, my EQ Bank as of right now has $0. I'll actually go on to explain at the end of the video why that's the case. But as for now, let's just go ahead and show you how money is sent into EQ Bank. If you're wondering, yes, they do offer GICs. The rates, you can actually go here and scan through. GIC, very simply, is where essentially you can lock up your money for a specific amount of time, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and then you can guarantee yourself, guaranteed investment certificate. You can guarantee yourself a bit of a higher rate there. That is if you want your money locked up. For most of us, I know for a fact, we're probably just going to be sticking to the everyday high interest rate of 2.3%. And by the way, I did forget to mention something quite important here. The everyday high interest rate, right? You see here, we got a little asterisk beside this. And this is, of course, very important to note. We take a look down here into this section. Interest is calculated daily on the total closing balance of your account and paid out monthly. All right. So basically, when you do have money in a high interest savings account, very typically that will accrue and they'll make a payment maybe a couple times a year. One of the major benefits to EQ Bank is, yes, it's calculated daily and you do get paid out monthly. Hence why I said hit that subscribe button, because we will be coming back to this in a month and taking a look at the income that I've earned and seeing how simple it is to get that back into our TD account or our personal bank account. So you see here, I have my bank accounts linked up here. This here would be my EQ Bank savings account. And within this backend, I do have the option again to pay a bill, move money between accounts. I can send an e-transfer or I can buy a GIC. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click this money called move money between accounts. Now you can see, as I touched on, I've already got my 2 real bank accounts linked here. These are my everyday accounts that I use for pretty much living out my life. Let's say, for example, I wanted to use my TD account and transfer some money here into my EQ Bank account. So just to clarify, this is very simply like a other bank account, but it is here with the company EQ Bank rather than TD Bank or rather than CIBC. So let's just say, for example, I wanted to pop in here $1,000. Let's just use $1,000. That's what I have allocated for a test. We have the date set up to today. We'll go ahead here and click next. It just gives you a confirmation page like saying, hey, we're going to be sending money from your bank account to your EQ high interest savings account. It says here funds will be available 5 business days after the transfer date. Pretty standard stuff. It does take time for this, and that's something I'm completely fine with. So I'm just going to go ahead and click transfer. Give it here a second to load. You have successfully transferred $1,000 from your TD Unlimited account into Brandon, your EQ Bank account. And again, the funds will be available in 9 days. So exciting thing here. I mean, we take a look. It's already showing that this is displayed in my account. In other words, effective immediately as the funds are now going to be transferred over into this account, I'm already going to be starting to accrue that interest rate of 2.3%. Now, again, it'll have to be a month before that's actually paid out to me and before I can withdraw that. But I will be making a follow-up video again to just show you how that's done. But that very simply shows you how simple it was to make a transfer. Just like that, I've got some of my savings now in an account here where I'm earning 2.30%. And I did want to come out here and give you some just some notes here in terms of things to be aware about with this platform, both positives and negatives. And then you can make a decision for yourself as to whether you like this or not. But EQ Bank, in terms of the negatives here, are things that you at a minimum have to be aware about. This is 100% online platform. So you're not going to go out and see ATM machines. You're not going to go out and see retail machines or retail stores for EQ Bank. This is completely online. You're not going to go out and get a credit card the same way you would at a TD or at a BMO or at a Royal Bank. 100% online. Now, for some people like millennials, younger people, we may say, hey, well, that's awesome. I don't need to go to a retail location. Save as much money as you can and give us the best rates, give us the best platform here. For some people, that may be a negative. It's definitely something at the end of the day that you need to be aware about. Now, another negative here. So as of right now, you don't have the ability to open up a TFSA, an RRSP, the same way you would at your traditional bank. It's not a service that they offer here yet. And in other words, those are two accounts that do have some tax benefits for Canadians. They're great for holding investments in, because in many cases, as your investments grow, you can shelter that from tax. Now, this is very simply what we would call a non-registered account. Think of it like a very simple account. Now, for many people, that's not an issue when it comes to a high interest savings account, but it is, again, something to be aware about. In terms of positives, like I said, the lack of fees and just the simplicity of using this platform, those to me would be the clear, apparent positives to using a platform like this. You can go on mobile, you can go through and do this. I mean, I did this in, what was that? No longer than a couple minutes. And you're essentially treating this like a additional bank account that you can just go ahead and pop some money into and at least have it growing better than your normal bank accounts where you're earning pretty much nothing or next to nothing. I'm going to go ahead here and sign out. Just to go back to the main page, I guess I might as well just exit out of here and finish off this video with this and talk about who this account is for, because where a high interest savings account becomes very, very useful, there's a couple purposes, or there's a couple prime types of people that would really, really benefit from an account like this. I think that this is an outstanding option here for Canadians that are looking to build up an emergency fund. And an emergency fund, as we talked about here on the channel, is typically a sum of money between 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses, kind of money that you're just stashing away in the case for an emergency. And you figure you have the option to just put that under your mattress. You can leave it in a normal bank account and have that not growing for you, essentially losing money to inflation, or at a minimum, you could pop it into an account like this where you're pulling in, at least as of right now, one of the better interest rates on the market, 2.30%. It's without a doubt better than nothing. And especially for an emergencies fund, which is just going to be kind of capped aside, at a minimum, enjoy some of that growth there. Now, the second type of person that could really benefit from this account is if you are somebody that is very much conservative. Like, let's say, for example, you're not comfortable with the volatility of the stock market. You don't want to go out and open up a Questrade account. You don't want to go up and actually invest your money in equities or stocks. Well, again, at a minimum, take an account like this and grow your wealth at 2.30% rather than it just sitting in your savings account. If you right now if you have a significant chunk of money that's just sitting in a savings account, that is probably one of the last things that I would personally do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice what you do with your money, but I want my money, at least as much as I possibly can, in a position where it can grow. And if I was somebody that wasn't comfortable with deploying that into the stock market, well, this is a very suitable alternative. It's a great first step, let's call it, for somebody that's looking for an investment that's going to grow, but again, really not taking on too much risk. In fact, here your money's very low on the risk spectrum. There's really not a whole bunch of risk at all. And the last person that just comes to mind here that would benefit from a high interest savings account like this is that if you are saving your money for the short term, if you know you have a purchase coming up, take for example, you want to put a payment on a car. Say, for example, you have money that you're going to be putting on a down payment for a house or school, something that you know in the near future, you're going to need access to, and you can afford to invest that in the stock market, again, because of that volatility and because of the uncertainty that comes with investing in stocks. Well, here you can say, I can reliably grow my wealth at a minimum, just try to keep up or outpace inflation. To me, it's just a no-brainer that you'd rather have your money growing in an account like this versus your normal account. But all in all, this, again, is my favorite high interest savings account in Canada. I hope that overview just gave you a little bit of clarity, a little bit of more insight into how the platform works. It is a very reliable one. If that's one of the questions you came here is like, oh, is this a scam? Is this, I haven't heard much about it. Go take a look at the different reviews online. I have friends that have personally been using this for the past couple of years, and it has kind of flown under the radar, but I've recently started seeing some ads popping up actually saw an ad on TV the other day for the first time. So I can see why people are getting a little interested, a little bit intrigued. Again, if you do fall into the right fit for this, it's just an outstanding option. There is an app that is available, there is as well an app that is available for download, really much going for that simplicity, young, modern look, the modern brand, as you can kind of tell by just going through what we worked with today. Like I said, if you are interested in checking up with us next month and see how the money has accrued, how it works getting that back into my bank account, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to drop a quick like on this video if you did enjoy it. Like I said, I will put the link down in the description below if you'd like to go check this out, like to go learn more. But as always, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.